Welcome to MTG Card Market Live. I am Phil Silverman, joined as always by this guy.
My name is Greg Schaefer, and we'll be watching 4 rounds of Legacy this evening.
4 rounds sounds good.
Yeah, and we already picked a doozy.
We did. Also, in case you're wondering, it's Thursday, so it's Hat Day. So Greg and I are complying by the known rules of Hat Day.
Yeah, this Thursday is Hat Day.
Specifically this Thursday, yeah. I wanted to make sure that was clear.
No other Thursday.
Nope. All right, let's head down to the feature match area where we have Kyle Hauptman on the left and James Lauerman on the right. Looks like action's already going here. Looks like James was on the draw.
Yep.
Attempted a turn 1 exploration, which got spell pierced by Kyle.
And then James followed that up with a Mox Diamond, discarding a Grove of the Burn Willows from hand. I wonder if James has the Light from the Loam next turn to rebuy.
Yeah, if he can get that going pretty early here, I think he'll have a shot. But this I think is generally going to be a little hard to race what Sneak and Show is doing, especially without exploration. I think it's going to be difficult. All right, we see an end-step cycling of Tranquil Thicket, drawing a black card.
Also, Hauptman bricked on a land here.
Ooh, that's pretty important. And he locked himself with Brainstorm?
Yeah.
Next turn he is going to get to Ponder or Preordain, though, so he should hit that land afterwards. But if there's a port here or something, it doesn't look like there is. We've got Grove of the Burn Willows, tapping for 2 colors, and a Light from the Loam, targeting Tranquil Thicket and Grove. So James sort of building his own little engine here with the Tranquil Thicket. Probably going to dredge back the Loam on the cycle.
Seems good.
Kyle untaps, draws what we know is not a land.
If the exploration had resolved, this hand would have just been bonkers.
Oh my god, yeah, James would be running away with this game. All right, Kyle leading with Ponder here. He does find a fetch land. I see a sneak attack there as well. He's going to draw the fetch land. I feel like he's just going to send the rest of this way. He already has a sneak attack in his hand, and he has at least one more cantrip to play. I think this is probably a good spot for Preordain. It's just whether or not he wants to expose himself to any land destruction effects.
Yeah, it seems like he can maybe wait on the red source. Ooh, responding to the fetch with Entomb.
I like the timing of this. Playing around Spell Pierce is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's very nice.
What do you think he's going to go for here?
He might go for a combo piece. He could also go for Caracas.
Caracas would be pretty powerful here. Honestly, any mana denial would be not so bad either.
Looks like he just pulled Punishing Fire. I wonder if James knows what he's playing against.
I think he wouldn't get Punishing Fire if he knew. Maybe he's just messing with us. I would definitely be surprised to see him actually get Punishing Fire.
So he's seen basically only cards that you would expect out of a Delver deck except for the basic island.
Yes.
Which seems like the biggest tell. It is interesting also because we happen to know that this is James's first tournament, I believe, with this lands deck. Which is, I think, is maybe also his first Legacy tournament.
Yes. I saw him play against Kyle earlier, so I feel like he just was trolling us and ended up going with the Thespian stage instead. Kyle's fetch resolves. He's going to 19 here, and we'll probably see him cast Preordain.
Yeah.
I think some other cantrip will be the likely follow-up. He does have another copy of Brainstorm, but no real reason to go and try and lock himself again.
Cubs fan asks if Entomb is a normal thing in lands. I believe James described it as one of his 2 spicy one-ofs that he had allowed himself. The other one being a single copy of Raven's Crime.
Which also would have been a fine card to tutor for. It's a little tough. When your opponent misses lands, though, it's so unlikely you're going to hit anything good.
Nice.
Flipping...
Finds a Wasteland.
Which is all right. I think the card he wants to find there is, if any, would be Port.
Sure. I mean, it's not bad.
Nope.
Yeah, it seems like he's just going to go for it now.
So Loam targeting Wasteland and Thespian stage.
It seems like he can probably just play the stage this turn unless he has something better.
I think this stage is going to come into play. He does have the depths in his hand.
Okay, yeah.
So
just getting closer to the combo seems ideal.
Yeah, the scariest thing here is specifically sneak attack into Emrakul.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle immediately preordaining here. See if James is going to do anything in response. Looks like he's going to cycle Tranquil Thicket in response. Let's see if he does decide to replace the draw with a dredge. And there's a port, the third crop rotation, and an exploration. That's a lot of spells in his yard.
Yeah. Almost all of them.
Yeah. All right, Kyle sees Volcanic Island and Misty Rainforest off of this preordain here. So he's got, I mean, he definitely wants at least one of these lands. I believe everything else in his hand is a spell. It's just whether or not he wants both. And it looks like he is going to put both on top here. Fetch land specifically first. I mean, this also gives him the option if he wants to brainstorm and crack a fetch land. That's possibly what he just wants to play around the wasteland that he knows is in James's hand, though.
Yeah, he gets put in an awkward spot with this Misty. Doesn't seem like he can really crack it now.
So Kyle's hand right now, he has the Emrakul, the Sneak Attack, a Show and Tell, and then just 3 cantrips. So he could put James to no permanence, but that might not be enough to win the game. James is at 20 life right now, and now he's got the combo online.
Yeah.
So the pressure is on Kyle to do something. Next turn, he can attack with Emrakul, which will reset everything James has going for him.
It's pretty good.
But it's going to be, it's going to be the onus is going to be on Kyle in order to find another fatty in order to do something.
So did he leave the next? Well, he needs another land, right?
He knows that there's a volcanic island on top.
Okay.
Kyle starts things off with an end step brainstorm. There's Volk, a Grizzlebrand, and a Show and Tell. All right, so now I think we're going to see lethal. I think we're going to see him put Grizzlebrand into play, try and draw into a Petal, and then put Emrakul into play and kill James all in one turn.
Yikes.
That would be enough.
Things that could mess this up.
Is there anything?
I don't know.
What could James present?
Well, yeah, he can't get enough permanence to get out of Emrakul range, right?
No, he can't add. He's not going to be able to add permanence. He could crop if he has the 4th crop rotation.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, then I think that's going to be about it.
Yeah.
Like crop rotation to bounce the Emrakul before attackers would be his only out, and even then that doesn't beat a second Petal or something like that. All right, Kyle in his upkeep is going to fetch a Volcanic Island, draws another copy of Sneak Attack for turn. Not really what he's looking for. I mean, Kyle does have to do this with Show and Tell, so if James has something good to put into play, that might mess things up. But I don't know if he really has much at this point. All right, Kyle gonna start things off. Here's that Show and Tell.
Yeah, Kyle sees the line.
James could put in a Wasteland or another Dark Depths. I think we're gonna see probably just Wasteland here. Yep, Wasteland versus Sneak Attack. What wins heads up?
Depends.
What are you putting in off the Sneak Attack, I guess?
Yeah.
All right, this is Kyle's decision. Is he just going to go for the Emrakul, or is he going to go for the Grizzlebrand and try and draw the Petal?
Looks like he's going for Emrakul.
I mean, given that he has the Grizzlebrand, this feels pretty safe. Just putting James down to 0 permanence.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do we have here?
3. Copy Dark Depths. Okay.
Well, this isn't going to work out so well. So James activates Thespian Stage, copying Dark Depths, decides to keep the one with no counters on it, gets a Merit Lage, but this is less than 6 permanence.
Yeah. I mean, this is all going away anyway.
This is all hoping your opponent misses their Annihilator trigger. I don't think Kyle missed it.
No.
Something's telling me.
Sacrifice is powerful.
Yeah, James is good here. we can go to game 2.
Man, Kyle missed his second land drop in that game and still won.
Yeah. Look, man, sometimes and Brainstorm locked himself.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think his deck has the highest density of cantrips in the format.
At this point, yeah.
Like Storm plays between 12 and 14 is what I usually see. The play sets are the non-negotiable play sets being Ponder, Brainstorm, Probe, and then some number of Preordain. But Sneaky Show plays 4 Preordain. I guess they don't always play 4 Probe.
Yeah.
So there's something to consider there. This seems very difficult for lands post-board. Just the presence of Blood Moon seems...
Pre-board seems pretty difficult.
I mean, there are things you can do at least, but, man, I don't know how you beat Blood Moon in any sort of reasonable way.
So, it looked like James was pulling Crows and Grips out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Crows and Grip is, like...
You kind of have to.
Yeah, well, like, you board it in a lot of matchups anyways, and in this matchup, I mean, killing instant speed, uninterruptibly killing a Sneak Attack is legitimately relevant.
Well, it can be, right?
Yes, I mean, yeah, you have to. I mean, you have so many.
You have to have the right window.
The fact that James's mana denial plan didn't come into play that game was pretty crucial. Although, to be fair, the mana denial plan, like the non-port, like just Wasteland, is not that good against Sneak and Show.
Yeah.
They have so many basics, and they have like, 3 basic islands and a mountain?
Yeah.
I think the only thing we're going to see for sure coming out of James's deck are those 4 Punishing Fires.
Those do not seem good here.
No, they do not. Just go to your face, hope it's good enough. Although it does leave you, funnily enough, extremely exposed to Jace the Mind Sculptor. Although it's not clear that Kyle has any in his deck this weekend.
Also, Punishing Fire is not good against Jace.
I mean, it is from the lands deck specifically.
It's okay.
So it looks like James is also looking to board out Mazavith. I think that's correct. Right?
Maze?
Maze is like good against...
It's only good against Grizzlebrand.
It's good specifically against against Grizzlebrand, and that's it. And even then, like...
Yeah.
It's not that good. I'm definitely not excited for it. I think that's what James has gone to board out. Looks like he boarded out a Grove as well. I mean, you can pretty comfortably board out a land.
Yeah, things he's boarding in, it looks like, are Grips. I think he had another Caracas.
I would look to board in anything that made Kyle's spells more expensive.
So you think all of those are good? The Thorns?
Oh, I think Thorn is exceptionally good. I mean, Kyle has so many 1-drops in his deck.
Yeah, that's true.
Just as good as Chalice is.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a sneak attack player, I've almost never seen a sneak attack player not instantly force a Will of Chalice on one. Because, unless they happen to have the actual combo in their deck, that just completely hinders their ability to filter. They can't do anything.
From Kyle's side, things he would be bringing in, aside from any Blood Moons...
Yeah, which we definitely saw come in.
I guess if he had any sort of graveyard hate at all, it would be okay. But
I think the only graveyard hate that Sneak and Show plays
Yeah.
is Grafdigger's Cage, which does nothing.
Doesn't do anything here. Okay.
I saw that Kyle boarded in Through the Breach, as well as Omniscience. Now, Omniscience is an interesting one. Omniscience is generally in the sideboard to fight Caracas.
Yeah, which is probably James's primary way to fight Kyle's combo.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't it be awesome if Kyle was just like show and tell, and James says resolves, and James puts in humility?
That would be good.
It's like, Kyle, did you board in that wipe away?
Kyle goes and checks his sideboard
and
concedes.
Scoops it up. Like James left in 1 Punishing Fire, and just to clean up 1 once. I don't think he would even care. I'll take 1. Let the clock get at me.
Yeah.
All right, James is gonna be on the play for this game too. Let's see both players' openers are acceptable. I saw that James, by the way, did board in a Caracas, so it's possible 1 was not in his main deck.
Probably one of the tougher matchups for James in the room.
Yeah.
Also, very unfortunate for him that he lost the die roll, because I think last game would have been drastically different if he had gone first and had been able to resolve his exploration.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is the synergy right here. Mox Diamond, discard Riftstone Portal. Riftstone Portal is a cute one, I gotta say.
It's very cute.
So now all of James's lands tap for green and white.
He's just gonna return it to his hand with Loam, though.
He could. I think I would choose no targets.
Oh my god, he can cast Loam right now if he wanted.
I think James should have cast Loam there.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then you can dredge it immediately.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a misstep there. Like, porting here is not actually relevant.
Yeah, like he has the Loam, right?
Yeah, like when you want Loam is just so much better in your yard than in play.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, so is Riftstone Portal, but
yeah, true. But like with exploration and play, all you want to be doing is loaming and playing 2 lands a turn.
Yeah.
I think James ideally would have just gone loam, get back nothing. Just leave the Riftstone Portal there.
Sure. So James is sitting on 2 cards. We don't know the other one besides the Loam. It could be a crop rotation?
I believe it's a land.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is.
That's always a good bet
yes.
in this deck. They're cards in hand. Good chance they're lands.
Mm-hmm. All right. Kyle pondering and keeping. Passing the turn back to James. All right, now it's up to James how he wants to proceed this. He does have Caracas, which is a pretty great start.
It's a pretty good one. I wonder if he's going to cast this Loam. Seems like a good spot to...
He's not going to cast it.
And he's going to port.
It
seems like he has to get the Loam thing started.
I think so
And
too.
Caracas this turn is not relevant.
No, unless he has like actual city into pedal into. I mean, he would need much more than that. He'd need, like city double pedal attack you.
Yeah, like maybe it's not loam in hand. I don't know.
I'm willing to be mistaken here. It could be
Yeah.
Crows and Grip. It could be crop rotation.
Yeah.
It could be another exploration, albeit a little bit unlikely for that one. All right. Kyle fetching here off this Scalding Tarn, picking up another basic island. He does have Through the Breach in his hand, which will help a little bit, although it's going to be hard to get that through the port. There's Omniscience, although no Show and Tell. Can't Through the Breach that into play. He is going to put it on top, though, which indicates that he might have a Show and Tell. Oh, he's thinking about it.
Omniscience is very, very good against Caracas.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. I think, like, he might just be settling in for a longer game. Given that James doesn't have a loam, or has no loam going, then Kyle has, like...
He has time.
Kyle doesn't have to worry about it, about what's going on that side of the board. He is going to draw the Omniscience. He does have the Show and Tell.
Yeah. He has Show and Tell, Omniscience, Emrakul. Ready to go.
I mean, he's a pedal away from doing this through double port.
Yes.
Because as soon as that Omniscience is in play, I think James is basically drawing dead. Oh, well, there's
2 lands.
There's double port.
And for anyone who is not sure if Urborg was in James's deck earlier, it is.
All right, so there's tap for some color.
All right.
Tap for black or green or white.
Now here's the loam. All right, so there was loam.
Loam target nothing.
No target. Yep. Now double port.
Port. And I think this is a very free port. Oh, no. And now Omniscience is going to hit the battlefield, and James is in a world of trouble.
Yeah. This was preventable.
Oh, great. Well, I didn't see the Emrakul, but best possible.
You can Caracas it.
Bounce it. Okay.
Replay it.
I'm going to cast it again. I'm going to go to my second turn. Oh, boy. And there's another Emrakul. Kyle gets another turn after this one.
He also has another Emrakul in his hand, so he could take another turn.
He could Through the Breach that one if he wanted to.
He could.
He's got options. Go to my next turn.
Go to my next.
He did. There's the wipe away, by the way. He did board it in. 15? 15.
Yes.
I think James is going to hope that there's nothing else here. Is he going to keep Exploration? Okay. I think I would maybe keep Caracas over Exploration.
Yeah.
Play another Emrakul.
Legend rule. Take another turn.
Shuffle this all in. Do this other stuff and attack you.
Oh, what is
James
this?
going to give Emrakul a read here. Let's pull up Emrakul the Aeon's Torn.
And dead.
What a fun
Yeah.
Magic card, Emrakul.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. Sneak and Show taking that one down in 2 games, just doing its thing. James had a way to make that game a little bit longer there by double porting, but by choosing to keep up Caracas, even though he was able... Ooh, Choke's a nice cyber card. Even though he was able to bounce Emrakul, the Omniscience really did it in. That's the first time I've seen Omniscience do a lot of work out of the Sneak and Show deck. It looked really good.
I have some experience.
Oh, I bet you do.
with it, and it's very good.
It's really good against your 3 Caracas deck?
It's very good at sidestepping a lot of the common hate.
Yeah, that makes sense. It just looks... As soon as your opponent is bored, specifically against like the hate of Caracas,
Yeah.
it's very strong. Want me to head out there and see if we have another match going?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'll be here.
Great, thanks, Drake. I appreciate you.
Any questions from the Peanut Gallery? That game was interesting. The matchup, I actually don't know if I've ever seen that matchup before. Does not seem great for lands. Granted, it did seem like maybe James could have been loaming earlier in that game, looking for more interaction or more ports, basically. I guess he had a bunch of ports, though, and it still wasn't good enough. If he had double ported that turn, though, they get to play on. I don't know. David Byer, what is up? Other decks in the room tonight. I think we might actually have someone playing Eldrazi for the first time, but I'm not positive. I think Bob Agra might be playing it, though. We also have Greg Ivy, who's playing Miracles tonight. I played a couple games against him before we started the stream. He destroyed me. That was fun. And what else do we have? We just saw lands and show and tell. Yeah, not too sure what else we have, but Phil will check. And yeah, TX Rager, I agree. Definitely had to be loaming immediately. Either, yeah, finding more lands that hate on the show and tell deck, or just looking for his own combo, and just sort of sat around too long. Like, I think James might have fallen victim to not being sure when to start leaving up Caracas. The odds were just so low on those first couple turns of anything too terrible happening, like including that last turn where he didn't double port. Like, if he double ports there, Kyle can't actually complete the kill that he did. So seems like it could have gone better for James with a few different decisions. But I mean, it's a hard format. You gotta just take your licks and learn how to play your matchups, because they're all pretty wonky. Let's pull up Omniscience. This is a really good way for the show and tell deck to just get around so much of the common hate for their deck. It's very frustrating to play against. It just makes Caracas look so silly. There's not much, I don't know. They can only play so many copies usually, though. It's a sideboard card now. It's funny how this was like just a few months ago was like the deck, and how quickly it changes. Omniscience was like a $30 card back then, and now it's $16, it looks like. So it's pretty funny. So what else is going on tonight? Looks like we have a bunch of our regulars. There's not too much coming up this weekend in terms of Magic, but the weekend after is pre-release. And if anyone has any good ideas for Standard, they should throw them my way or put them in the chat, because I am all ears. So what do you think? He should have double ported that last turn?
That's a risky play too, though, because then he's tapping his Caracas.
Yeah.
He doesn't play around Omniscience. Like, I don't think you play around Omniscience there.
Yeah, I mean, if by tapping out, what are you putting yourself weak to? Like, if you have Soul Land and Petal,
Sneak attack.
but you have no lands though to start the turn, then, right? Because like you had 2 islands. If he just ports both islands, then you can't get to 3 mana for show and tell, right?
No Petal.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean,
Sure. It would have had to be like double Petal and Soul Land.
yeah.
I think the game is different if he just fires off that loam on turn 1
yeah,
and starts dredging immediately.
that was also a weird thing.
He did have a pretty good setup to handle everything else except Omniscience, though.
Yeah.
So
Is Omniscience like a 2 of or what?
just 2 on the board.
Okay.
It doesn't come in very often, but that's the matchup it does.
Also me. I think
What?
it messes me up pretty bad too.
Definitely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Any
I
Caracas
bring in
deck?
like 10
Hey.
cards against you.
Hey,
Yeah.
we have a match.
What's that?
We have a match.
What's a match?
It's where 2 players play Magic against one another.
Oh, that's cool. Who's playing?
I'll pull this card up.
Oh yeah. Little Bob action.
Oh yeah.
So Bob is not playing Eldrazi. I apologize, chat.
No, I think there is another player playing Eldrazi though.
Well, that's cool. Hopefully they do well and we can watch them.
I believe he was playing against Brandon in his first round. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know who won.
Sure.
But yeah, Bob on the left, playing a good old fashioned painter.
Red white,
Red white.
strawberry shortcake.
Dude, you'll like his plateaus.
Oh yeah.
They're extremely nice.
Yeah, he told me when we were going to Missouri together that he bit the bullet and got beta plateaus.
I gotta say, if you're gonna go beta for one of your dual lands, that's probably the cheapest one.
Yeah, I think he said it was like $600.
Total?
No.
Oh my god. I was
Per.
like, holy crap. That would be pretty great. Tell you about my hat. My hat is a Bulls 96-97 championship. Is that right?
Nice.
Is a 97 championship hat. Bulls beat the Jazz for the first time. This was my grandfather's hat, and it's the best hat I own.
Yeah.
By a wide margin.
Yeah, you don't really have many hats.
You don't know what I have. But in any case, it's a very good hat. It's a strong hat.
Yeah, it's not as good as my hat.
Which is a Gryffindor Quidditch hat.
Yeah, the house team Quidditch hat.
Ah, not the rec league Quidditch team.
No, not the scrub league. only actually good Quidditch players that are real things.
Yes, that's the one. All right, Bob quickly going to mulligan his 6-card hand. No lands there to be seen. This seems like a very good matchup for Painter.
It does. I mean, you're weak, I guess, to all the abrupt decays, but I guess you're also weak to, like, Hymn to Turok.
Yeah, kind of. Like, you have Top. Top is really, really good against Hymn to Turok.
It is. And also, all of the Blood Moon effects are completely insane.
Yes, the blood like the Blood Moons are ridiculous. He has Rest in Peace post board.
That is a good one against...
He did Rest in Peace John post board, but John unfortunately had his best card in the matchup in play. Which is Liliana the Veil. There was also a Needle, which I believe was on it was either on Grindstone or Sensei's Divining Top. So John is happy with his 7 here.
Chat, I'm definitely not a Gryffindor, but my grandma got this hat for me from the Warner Brothers store in New York.
Would you say
when I was very young?
Would you say you're comfortably Hufflepuff?
I do not want to be a Hufflepuff. I would rather be Ravenclaw.
Oh, I see. So Hufflepuff in denial.
I'll take Slytherin.
Okay. I am comfortably Hufflepuff, for those wondering. No qualms here. I just slide right into that company.
I'd like to say that I'm not. I probably am.
Yeah, many Hufflepuffs, you'd like to say that you're not.
Yeah.
In any case, Bob leading on Mountain Go. John immediately going to fetch with his Misty Rainforest. Let's see if he has a basic forest in his deck. That would at least make the possibility of a early Blood Moon less daunting.
Did you wear a baseball hat today because it was raining and you didn't want to use an umbrella?
I don't own an umbrella.
Okay.
So
still rain related though?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I always wear a baseball hat when it's raining. Don't you?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, see? It's a real thing.
I guess it makes sense.
I've been doing that forever.
Whoa.
He does have a forest, and he does have Deathrite Shaman start things off. This is a pretty excellent start if you're John.
It didn't work as well once it started snowing.
Nope. We've got a turn 2 Painter's Servant.
Look at that plateau.
Beta Plateau.
It does not look real.
No.
That looks like an ancient artifact.
I saw it up close, and it's beautiful. Painter's Servant here, and... Oh, that was awesome. Exiling Simian Spirit Guide and Pyroblasting the Deathrite. He could have gone after the land, which is pretty awesome, but I think going after Deathrite's a much safer play.
Yes.
And now I feel like Bob's a little ahead here. Although Bob's hand, I know one of his other cards, he has only 2 in hand at this point, is it's just another Painter's Servant. So he needs to draw something good. There's another Deathrite for John. Another thing that Bob has to answer, at least.
Ooh.
That's an Expedition. Right?
Yeah.
Expedition Arid Mesa?
Yep.
Jeez. Beta and that.
I think his last card is another Painter's Servant.
The third?
I think so.
Ooh.
Definitely would rather have some more Red Blasts.
I wonder if he also named Blue. He probably also named Blue. These do override one another. Oh no, sorry. The effects of multiple Painter's Servants are cumulative. They all count.
Okay.
Yeah, because it says in addition.
You still want to name Blue, though, right? Because one gets killed, you want the other one to be functional.
Yep. All right, John going to fetch here, pick up a basic Swamp. So now he's got 2 basics, so he's effectively free from the tyranny of Blood Moon if it were to come down. But I mean, I think that's the least of his. I think he just doesn't want to die to a top deck Grindstone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all Bob wants to draw is just one more Grindstone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so land getting exiled by Deathrite. Is this a Goyf, a him? Looks like it's a him taking out Bob's last card. It is a 3rd Painter's Servant.
Oh, yeah.
Not powerful. Is this 3rd Deathrite here?
That would only be fair. Oh, yeah.
It is. 3 Deathrite Shamans.
Cards in hand for John looks like Wasteland, a dual land of some variety.
Wasteland going after that plateau.
There's an Abrupt Decay in there, but Bob is kind of immune to that at the moment.
Wasteland was pretty good there as Bob immediately draws a 3-drop in Magus of the Moon. John
Magus
drawing
of the Moo.
Magus of the Moon.
Yeah.
John got a couple lands in hand to go with these 1/2s. It was Liliana. Shardless Agent. Just as good, I'd say, in this spot.
Sort of.
Pick up a Brainstorm here. Free Brainstorm is not the worst. That Deluge going to go to the bottom off the Cascade. Now we get to set up our next turn. There's a Ancestral Visions, but there's also
Maelstrom Pulse.
Ooh,
Oh, boy.
that's a good one.
That seems like a good next turn.
So Bob basically has to draw. I mean, if he draws Grindstone, it's not even that good this turn.
No. It is too slow.
I don't know what Bob can draw to get out of here.
Third land, Imperial Recruiter. I mean, just too slow.
I mean, like, it's just a. I think the combination of Pulse and Liliana will be just too much for him to overcome.
Yeah, Pulse seems completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
And Deathrites are just
Looming.
so much more mana.
Mm-hmm. Giving John that huge mana advantage is a big deal. He only has 1 extra mana here. Top is probably his best draw.
Yeah, it just might be too late.
Yes. Fetch from Bob going to 19. Let's see if he decides to pick up another plateau. Nope, just going to go for a mountain.
I wonder if he has any...
Any what?
Like, basic planes? Or
I don't believe there are basic planes in the deck.
Okay.
I think it's just 2 plateaus.
Yeah.
There really aren't that many white cards in general.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, he probably doesn't have Enlightened Tutor in the deck anymore.
He may or may not.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Rest in Peace is definitely in there.
Yep. All right, top coming down here, and then just a pass back from Bob. Looks like end step, we're going to go eat a land into...
Eat
a spell?
No,
eat 2 lands and decay.
Huh.
John going for decay on a Painter Servant. Interesting.
Top in response.
Find top, Imperial Recruiter, and an Ancient Tomb.
Seems like drawing the Tomb would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least get to play one of these cards.
Yeah.
And the Servant getting taken down there on the end step. John going to draw for the turn, picks up a land. Is he just doing this? I think he's doing this so he can minus. I think this is worse than Maelstrom Pulsing, though. John going to minus, taking out... I mean, the result is the same. It's just, 1 versus 2 cards. Although I think having Liliana in play is better than not at this point. I mean, maybe at any point. Attack for 3 here, dropping Bob down to 16. And now Bob has to play... He's probably just forced into playing this Magus.
Indeed.
Going to 14. And you can spin top as well. All right, John gonna fetch as well.
Fetch in response to the Magus.
Oh, in response?
You'd have
Yeah, that
to.
would make sense. Fetching up any land, it doesn't really matter, but I think he's just gonna see Deathrite get activated here.
Having 2 Deathrites was just so huge.
Yeah, now John is just completely insulated from this Blood Moon at this point.
Yeah, I mean, can still attack with Shardless Agent and has basic Swamp for one of his Deathrites too.
Plus, he still has the Pulse.
Oh,
he could just kill it.
Yeah.
Let's see if he
seems
decides.
fine.
I mean, like, if he can cast both of his last 2 cards and plus this Liliana, I think he's doing pretty well. And yeah, he will just pulse the Magus. I don't think Bob has much he can do to respond to this, but he will activate top in response. Sees Imperial Recruiter, another top, and a fetch land. I think it's the Expedition Bloodstained Mire. No response there. It's just going to die. Now let's see if John wants to plus this Liliana. He's going to go exile a land and play Goyf. Yeah, now John is thoroughly in control of this game.
Yeah. It seems too far gone.
Yep. Attack for 3, dropping Bob down to 9, and now Bob is just facing lethal this next turn.
Yep.
He's got an Imperial Recruiter, which he has to take 2 to cast. Ugh. Going to 7, so...
Really need that Magus to live.
I think Liliana minus is just enough to wrap up this game.
Yeah.
Unless he has... I mean, does he have a 1-drop he can get? No. Just Revoker. Yeah, Liliana minus will make the Goyf real big. I think the Goyf's already huge. There's creature, artifact, land, instant, source. It's already a 5/6. So he can make it a 6/7 if he's feeling so inclined. But Bob, being sporting about it, passes it back to John, says kill me.
Yeah.
Let's see if John obliges.
Go ahead, chump check.
John drawing for the turn.
Well, you don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have to do anything, I guess.
But you might as well.
Yeah. You're here.
You came to play Legacy, you know?
It's not like they're hurting for time.
Yeah, there's a Decay.
Yeah.
Decay, it's dead. Attack with my creatures. Might as well get that last card.
Oh, yeah. Get that Revoker out of here.
Pop gonna top in response to Enlighten Tutor, Enlighten Tutor, Imperial Recruiter, and he's gonna activate in response, so we can discard this Enlighten Tutor to the Liliana.
Very nice promo Enlightened Tutor there.
It does look really good.
I think that's promo, not... I don't think there were pack foils.
No,
yet
it's a
then,
promo.
right?
That was because it has the 6th edition symbol on it.
Yeah.
And there were no foils in 6th edition. Sorry,
They're figuring
classic 6th edition.
figuring out how big
This is an arena league.
Tarmogoyf is. Ooh, 5/6, you say.
Attack
So,
for 7.
Death rate is most certainly lethal.
Yep, Bob gonna scoop it up. John taking that one down in 3 games. Shardless Bug taking down Imperial Painter, and what I feel like is a very poor matchup for Shardless.
Yeah, I guess Bob's really looking for a fast hand, like a fast Blood Moon specifically, Blood Moon effect at least.
Yeah, having an early Blood Moon is just devastating for the Shardless deck. They just don't have a lot to come back from it.
Yeah, it seems like though if Painter doesn't have that, then Shardless has a pretty good answer to basically everything.
Yeah, I mean their deck's just all answers, right?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have Force of Wills post board, and they have all of the permanent based interaction. They just need enough time to set up their mana.
Yeah, like as long as you're able to like get a Death Right, getting Death Right into play is like such a big deal for that deck.
Yeah.
And I mean you have a clock. You have Liliana seems like the single best card by a lot.
Yeah, and
I guess once it's in play, like Death Right is probably the better card in general. But I mean, Bob effectively had to Lotus Petal out a Pyroblast there to like stay in there after turn 2 Painter Servant and just didn't do enough again. John just had 3.
Yeah.
He was ready for it.
a little too much card disadvantage.
Oh, I was in DC and I definitely did not make day 2. My team did not win a match on day 1. It was truly disastrous. I take a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
I am a cooler on teams. I am 0 for team GPs. I've never made day 2 at a team GP.
It's because we've never teamed together.
Yeah, that's definitely
we would have to
why.
not sit next to each other.
Yeah, I'm glad Greg Pino also noted that it's classic 6th edition, not just 6th edition. But yeah, I did play against Owen in Indy, playing in the Rally Mirror in round 10, the first round of day 2.
That's a nice pairing to get.
I started things. It's funny because I said it the night before. I said all I want to do is not play against Owen, and then I got paired against him immediately, and I was like, all right, got to beat the best to top 8. I didn't beat the best. I didn't top 8. Owen also beat Kent that day.
That matchup does not seem good for Eldrazi.
No, I think it's the worst matchup.
And I don't know how the Eldrazi deck is playable then if the best deck is its worst matchup.
Not everyone's playing Rally.
I don't know why.
I agree. It's insane. The deck's really, really good. But it's gone, which is really, really good for the format. As well.
I disagree.
Yeah, all right.
It's good for the format. It's bad for me.
Yes. I wonder. So, are there any cards that you've seen in Shadows of Innistrad that sort of like get your interest for Legacy?
Tickle my legacy funny bone.
Well, there are no 2-mana 2/2s that do anything in white. So
yeah, it's very disappointing.
Yeah.
This set's crop of small white shitters is not
great.
particularly enticing.
You're not excited by Thalia's Lieutenant or Handwear Militia Captain?
Not in Legacy, no.
That's really unfortunate. I feel really bad for you.
Yeah, you should.
What about I don't know, are there any other white cheap creatures that have been printed? What about the one that makes a clue? The 1-mana 1/2?
Good to flicker with.
Draven Investigator?
Yeah.
Is that the one? That's like drawing a card in like 2 turns. Let's just spend 1.
Yeah.
What do you think? Great.
Oh, maybe the giant frog thing.
There is a 3/1 white fox. It is exactly the same as Blade of the Sixth Pride
Thank you,
and
guys.
Oresco's Swiftclaw.
Perfect.
Yeah, we could. Let's pull up the toad.
Yeah.
Let's pull up the toad.
It's the
The Gitrog monster. The Gitrog monster.
You know that this week's lore is about it?
I read it.
Oh, I didn't finish it.
I've read all of the lore things for this thing.
I have read them as well, but I'm only like halfway through this one. I didn't have enough time on the train.
It was interesting. I liked
Was
reading
it?
about the Gitrog monster.
It is it has pretty great art, pretty great flavor.
Oh yeah, the flavor's incredible.
Cards that they're relating it to include Mina and Den. I don't get that one.
Soul of Innistrad and Titania, Protector of Argoth. That's probably the closest one.
Why is it? One of these should be Spiritmonger.
One of them, yeah. I mean, like, Spirit Frogger is a pretty good one. I mean, I'm pretty happy this card doesn't have Trample.
It'd be a lot better if it did.
Thank you. Along with Death Touch, yeah. Or even instead of, it would certainly still be really powerful. But yeah, this card's pretty sweet. I know. I would be interested to see if anyone could work this card into a Legacy deck. It's probably just Nick Fit, right?
Yeah. But is it better than Thragtusk? That's the 5 that they actually play, right?
It's cooler than Thragtusk.
It is cooler. Also, it wins in a heads-up fight.
It does. Come on, Thragtusk cannot attack through the Gitrog monster.
I mean, they can try, but it's not going to work.
Whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. I liked Kyle Norman's idea of just going Seismic Assault into this. Just basically build your own swans. Just like 3 you draw, 3 you draw, 3 you draw, 3 you draw.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Is
probably
it two?
dead.
It's 2, right? It's
What?
actually 2 damage. Seismic Assault, is it a shock?
Yeah.
It's not a bolt.
Yeah, it's not Borborygmos.
Yeah, Borborygmos is a bolt.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a Borborygmos Enraged. Close though. Close though.
If anyone's unaware, what tournament was it? An SCG?
It was an SCG Finals? The Modern Finals?
No, it was top 8.
Top 4. I
Yeah.
think maybe top 8, but yeah, it was Bob Wong who his opponent went Needle, and Bob's like, okay, and it's like Borborygmos, and Bob's like,
Okay.
and
Next turn, kill you.
the next turn put Borborygmos Enraged into play, and they ruled that named the wrong card. It is kind of cute that when you dredge lands, it works. So wait, does it? I guess I have a ruling question. If you dredge 4 lands, do you draw 4 cards? Or do you draw 1 card?
Whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere.
Okay, so you draw 1 card.
Yeah, because it's all part of the same.
It all happens
effect,
at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so it does work best with Seismic Assault.
Yeah, not really with dredging.
Oh, yeah, with dredge, you draw a card.
Yeah, I mean, it's also good with...
You gotta feed the Gitrog.
You can also play with, like, Molten Vortex, but that's obviously mana intensive.
Yeah, it costs a lot more mana.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty great. I gotta say, I just love the art. I love everything that's going on here.
I'd be a big fan if there was actually a like, tier 1, tier 1.5, like, Loam deck in Modern.
I mean, a Loam deck top 8 of the Grand Prix, although that deck is very different.
Oh, the Australian one?
It's a dredge deck. It's dredge.
Yeah.
Actual dredge.
Yeah. Yeah, and that deck was cool. It seemed very heavily metagamed
That's a deck that Raphael Levy has been playing
for a while.
forever. Yeah.
He hasn't had any, like, real breakthrough finishes with it, though, right?
Not that come off the top of my head, no.
Like, he's had some, like, middling, like, fine GP results.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, it's been around for a while. Yeah, this is a... but, like, the idea of just, like, going off with Seismic Assault is at least somewhat interesting.
Yeah, it seems sweet.
I mean, yeah, you probably kill your opponent.
Unless you just brick off on lands.
If you have 1 land, you probably don't kill your opponent.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a 6/6 Death Touch.
Yeah,
It's
and
big.
every turn that goes by, like, if you just find Loam, then they're gonna die.
Plus, I mean, like, not to mention, it's still an exploration.
Yes.
Like, worst case scenario, like, what do you do? Like, you don't have Seismic Assault. What do? You play a fetch, crack it, draw a card.
Yeah.
Like, start doing stuff. If you have Ghost Quarter,
You have to get it into play. That's, like, the hardest thing with it, right? Because it's a 5-drop.
yeah, it costing 5 is a real inhibitor, especially because, like, I know, like, none of those decks really play Accelerants.
Yeah, I wonder if you could, like, play like Unburial Rights too.
I think that's like kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, probably.
It costs the same or one less at
Yeah.
best.
Fair.
I would rather like try and build, like try and slot this into a seismic loam strategy.
And just cast it when you get to 5 lands. Yeah.
I think so. I think that's more
What if you Gorya's
realistic.
Vengeance it?
Well, now we've got something sweet. It is legendary. This card is legendary.
Yeah.
That makes it's a little sad that you just can't have multiple Gitrog monsters in play.
Well, there's one.
There are not many cards in Magic with the in their name.
No, this is one of them. There's only one.
There's definitely not only one.
There's only one of this one.
Oh, there's only one Gitrog monster? There's only one the Gitrog monster.
When I first read that name, I was like, Gitrog must be like an anagram of something. Like, where did they come up with that? No, it's just a weird word.
The Gitrog monster. It's just so scary. I gotta say,
It has a human arm hanging out of its mouth.
just like hanging on the edge of his teeth right there.
It is a dead arm too.
Oh, yeah.
That arm is not living.
You don't think it's a living arm? You don't think there's a
No.
person behind that?
I do not.
That's just like the leavings after his meal, whatever he ate. He probably ate a person. is
It's a
what it is.
fashion arm. In Gitrog, that's like the coolest accessory you could have. It's just an arm hanging out of your mouth.
He just hasn't flossed recently.
Okay.
It's a little unfortunate.
Just forgot about it.
The idea. I do hope this card is playable, just because that would be at minimum very interesting.
Yeah.
How close do you think we are to being done with the round?
I don't know. What if you played this in standard in like a bug control deck? I don't know.
Why you blue?
Jace.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you know what you do to Jace? You discard cards. What if you discard a land?
Yeah.
Boom, draw a card.
When you already have your 5-drop
You
to
also
play.
you also get to play Hissing Quagmire in that deck,
You
which
do.
is, as you
could
know.
have 2-man lands in bug.
Oh yeah, Lumbering Falls.
Yeah,
too.
you have a choice.
I forgot. Yeah, the cons, the wedges, you get 2-man lands. The shards, you only get 1.
Yeah, you get like good removal from black. Jace from blue, that's kind of it.
End of list. Jason a man land.
Yeah, maybe this is not worth. Maybe just a green-black rock deck. I don't know. I don't know what else you have.
I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased that this exists after Fetch Lands rotated.
Yeah, well, you still have Evolving Wilds to go off with.
Thank God.
Or-
Thank God for that Evolving Wilds.
Or that colorless land where you can pay 3 to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah, something Drown Yard.
Yeah, not Nephalia.
Well, thank
Or
God.
maybe it's like Nephalia something else. Or is
yes.
it something Drown Yard?
I don't know.
It's some play off of that. But that card straight up combos with this. Is you sack a land every turn, you just sack that one, bring it right back.
Yep.
I don't know.
Right back into play.
Yeah.
That card's good.
It seems very good.
That card's like, I think, a little under people's radars, but I think that card will see at least some amount of play.
That's a pretty good value engine.
I guess I forgot that Mina and Den lets you play an extra land.
Okay.
That's why it's similar.
That's loose.
You can curve.
There are a lot of
You can curve.
freaking creatures that let you pay extra lands.
You play Mina and Den on 4. You play an extra land. You untap, you play Get Rock
Mythic
Monster.
Spoiler can be very frustrating with the cards that they pick.
You play 2 Evolving
Yeah.
Wilds, you crack them both, draw 2 cards. What do you think, Greg?
Great.
Did we do it?
Great.
Did we break it?
No.
We broke it. All right.
If anyone thinks that they've broken it in standard, please let me know.
Yeah, that's true. Greg does need to know if anyone has broken it.
You need to know too.
Oh, I will know.
You're playing a tournament before I am.
Oh, yeah. I am. I was mistaken.
Phil's trying to turn himself into a storm counter. Or wait, no. Something else.
That's already been made.
Yeah.
That was just made.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I would think of something better than that. I would make probably a 6/12 6/12 construct.
No. Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why?
Stone Idol Trap?
No.
Have you seen the token for that?
No, it's
It's a head
Uh-huh.
dropping down and like broken in places. What if it was my face
Ooh.
on that head? That's like a really good token.
That's pretty good. It wouldn't be
Realistically,
small.
realistically, I would go for probably 3/3 artifact creature golem.
Okay.
Just for
Precursor golem for your cube.
or Blade Splicer.
Okay.
I love Blade Splicer.
Blade Splicer's a cool one.
Golem Foundry.
Yeah.
What else makes 3/3 golems? Maul Splicer for Pauper Cube.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Blue 3/1 Flyer. I saw that card and was not impressed.
a zombie.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Card seems cool. I don't. It seems like a very hard card to figure out how to use it properly.
Stitchwing Scob.
Like when I saw this originally, I was thinking like, for standard, you just basically play all of the blue-black zombie things that involve your graveyard, including like the 3/3 for 4 that lets you windfall every upkeep.
That could be pretty good.
It might be too slow and clunky to really get going because there aren't that many good 2-drops. Like there's just Jace and Relentless Dead for the deck.
What's David playing?
David Jimenez. Fish. Merfolk.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. No. What do you want to watch then? We could watch Nathan v Kyle, which will be very fast.
Yeah.
Or we could watch.
Is Brandon playing blue, white, red?
Yes.
He's gonna destroy fish. I mean that's fine.
4 True Name Nemesis.
All right. We can fish. There's Supreme Verdict in the deck,
Oh my God, that's not very nice.
right?
We could. It's that or watch Grixis Delver versus Bug Delver, or we could watch. That's kind of our best option, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could watch Nathan versus Kyle. It's our next best option. We watched Kyle last round though.
Yeah.
Because Ryan doesn't want to be on camera. I would put Andrew on camera because he's playing Enchantress. Let's go with David Jimenez versus
Sure.
Brandon Salgado.
Like I said,
Yeah, we got it.
Merfolk and blue, white, red blade. Sounds like.
I think this was a slaughter in Blue White Red's favor before True Name Nemesis,
Yeah.
and is now close. Well, I guess.
It
Yeah.
depends.
I think post board it'll be extremely hard
For fish.
for fish.
Yeah.
Pyroblast.
Yep.
Pyroblast is just such a rude card. You think the zombie sucks, Gibbous? I don't. I kind of agree. I don't really like it. I don't like that getting it back. I mean, the fact that it's just like not that good unless it's in your yard. Like drawing this card and not getting to discard it is bad. Just a
Yeah.
4-mana 3/1 flyer. Ugh.
I feel like the blue-black zombie deck is missing some other key self-milling or discarding outlet.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just Jace, which isn't even a zombie, and the 4-drop.
I actually think the blue-black 3/3 is pretty good. I think that will prove to be super annoying.
I mean, that card is combos with what? Combos potentially with Stitchwing Scab.
Okay. And Relentless Dead, right? Yeah. No, that goes to your hand. It doesn't combo with that, right?
Well, the second part.
It still goes to your hand, doesn't it?
No, the creature goes into play.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Jeez. I did not know that. All right, let's head down. Yeah, we got Brandon on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Timer is...
Yeah, the gold 3/3 zombie, it seems like it can be really powerful, but the other pieces need to be put in place.
Yeah, I think that card is certainly like exciting to look at. I mean,
it seems like we're missing like some key enablers to make it all make sense.
Yeah, I think of how good a card like Thought Scour would be in a deck like this. Like,
Thought Scour or like something like Grizzly Salvage, something in that vein. Like you just need some like cheap, good self-mill. Maybe it's self-mill attached to a creature also. But also it has to be like a playable creature, It's like...
Yeah, like Armored Scab probably wouldn't be good enough because it's just a
No.
doofy 1/4.
Yeah, maybe if Armored Scab was like a 2-drop.
Yeah, or like Screeching. Would Screeching Scab be good enough?
Probably not.
Screeching Scab's not legal, right?
I think it might be. But it only mills 2, and it's just a 2/1 body.
It is legal.
Yeah.
It's in Origins.
I don't think it does enough.
I don't know. This is your card right here. This is the guy that does all the work for you.
Defiance King. This tournament is taking place at MTGCardmarket in Chicago, Illinois. Prizes are store credit, and they go to the top 4 finishers.
Mm-hmm. Are you related to Peter Schaefer, Greg?
No.
Are you sure?
I might have some distant relative named Peter Schaefer.
Great.
Also, Schaefer's a pretty common last name.
It's true. All right. Looks like David is happy with his opening 7, and Brandon is mulliganing here.
Kevin 12X, Painter lost.
Shardless Bug took it down.
Yeah, Shardless just ground him out.
Our other matchups that we have right now are Grixis Delver versus Shardless Bug, Storm versus Sneak and Show, Enchantress, Bant Enchantress, is playing the Energy Field Rest in Peace combo.
Okay.
Against Esper Stoneblade, I believe is what Ryan is playing. And then Miracles versus Pox.
Depends.
I'm not sure what Sebastian's playing. Bob is Painter versus Storm. Storm versus, I think this is actually Eldrazi.
Okay.
And Shardless versus Lands. 2 Shardless decks here today. All right.
Dryer Sheet, thank you for the follow. Also Defiance King, thank you as well.
Turn 1 Aether Vial.
Defiance King, no proxies.
There it is. And that's resolving.
Oh yeah. Nice island choice.
We got an island and a ponder. That is a nice island. I know David has a lot of non-matching islands too, which I respect. He's just like, I got these islands in my deck. No big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin, we were talking about, we also thought Painter had a pretty good matchup against Shardless. It did go to 3 games. We only saw the third.
I think Bob pretty easily won the first game.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, the Blood Moon effects are really powerful, but the rest of the deck is pretty beatable.
Yeah, you need to have specific hands, I think, a lot of the time. And Bob's draw was just very bad in the last game.
Yeah, 3 copies of Painter Servant.
Yeah, it's basically the worst, the worst possible, I think, for him. Like, the combo's almost just secondary to, like, a Blood Moon or a Rest in Peace.
Yeah.
David got a lot of stuff going on, including a Cavern of Souls.
That's a good one.
How much you want to bet that's naming Merfolk?
Pretty good amount. And Silvergill, the best Merfolk to have. Reveal Lord of Atlantis.
David smartly revealing Lord instead of the Curse Catcher in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Wants to hide that information.
Draw a card for Silvergill. Oh, yeah. Cooking with fire now.
Yeah, this is your business right here. I mean, to be fair, if I had Silvergill in my hand every time I played Merfolk, I would maybe like the deck more.
Yeah. Also, if you had Vial, that also helps.
1. Just exactly 1.
Not all 4.
If Aether Vial had the ability of when you cast it, you exiled every other Aether Vial in your deck, then I would be excited to play it.
That'd be pretty dope.
It'd be, I think,
sign me up.
Incredibly good then. All right, got double fetch from Brandon. This might be a True Name Nemesis coming down, which would be a pretty good way for him to at least try and race the oncoming tide of fishies.
Yeah, when True Name came out, that was right around the time when I stopped playing Merfolk.
Interesting.
Well, Deathblade became a thing with True Name and Jite, and you can never beat that, so
no,
I gave up trying.
Brandon has probably the best card in the format against Merfolk, which is Stoneforge Mystic.
Yes.
But, like, the rest of the cards, the problem is, like, the rest of the cards in his deck are also really good against him. Ooh, David has my favorite thing.
What's that?
Image True Name. Are we going to see? I wonder if David's going to Force a Will this. He does have Force. I feel like this is a very good target.
Seems pretty good. I mean, he could save it for
the Stoneforge or the Jite or something.
Right.
I don't know.
But
I mean,
it seems like a pretty decent... Alright, so he's going to Vial and Curse Catcher. Alright, so True Name did resolve.
I thought he was going to Vial that in and then
I
Force.
thought so too.
Well, you don't even need to do that. I think you Force and then you can respond.
This is also true.
All right, so let's see what we got coming down this turn. I think this is going to be definitely a Lord of Atlantis turn, if nothing else, either via Vial or getting cast using the Cavern of Souls. Yeah, if Aether Vial had a Squadron Hawk effect, I think I would definitely be more excited to play it. All right, 2 mana here. This is definitely uncounterable, because otherwise it wouldn't be castable. I like that you can't mess that up on IRL.
It helps.
And we see an attack for 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like goes to block. He's like, no, not happening. You got 3 islands in play, buddy. Going to 13 here. And now it's kind of up to Brandon to get an equipment in play. Like, a lot of Swords to Plowshares would definitely help here, but an image on a True Name is going to be really annoying.
Verdict would also help. Ooh, has Jite.
And Force of Will.
So, going to play Jite.
So
This seems like a good thing to Force of Will.
This seems like the best possible thing to Force of Will. I wonder if David has double Force of Will, that would be best possible. I think he does have double Force of Will.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
But this seems like the single most important card to stop resolving.
Oh, yeah. And now he has the decision of what he's pitching with his first one.
He has 4 cards, and I believe they're all blue.
Yeah.
That's one thing. This deck never has to struggle with blue card count.
Sometimes you flood.
Ooh, I don't know if he has a 4th blue card.
Was it a land?
I think it's an island. Yeah.
So he has 1 force.
So it's either do we use the Phantasmal Image or do we use the other Force?
Yeah. I think you would use the other force then.
I think so too. I think having a Phantasmal Image is going to be proved to be better than having a Force of Will because really all that matters is Force of Will.
Yeah. David definitely in the tank here though. He must be thinking about what he's pitching. I think it's going to be, force pitching force.
Force pitching Force of Will. David going to 19. And I think Brandon has to force back.
Yeah.
And he does, force pitching Ponder. The question is, do you Curse Catcher?
It stops Jite this turn, if he does. Now he's vialing in... Okay.
I actually think you're supposed to copy Lord... Oh, Brandon doesn't have the 4th land.
Oh. So that he just passed.
Yeah. Ooh,
So
boy.
he chose this end of turn.
3, 4,
So yeah,
5, 6,
I think going for Lord of Atlantis would have been pretty good there, right?
I think it actually... Well, let's see. If he with this, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it was Lord of Atlantis, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It'd be lethal.
Yeah, it would be.
Ooh, small misstep there. I don't know if he's going to win the game now. 3.
So if he goes instead for Lord of Atlantis...
Oh, no, but we have this. We do have the swords.
But this gets Curse Catchered.
Yeah, you just have to Curse Catcher this,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so it wouldn't have been lethal then. Because of the...
It does represent more damage, though. And also now the Jite is going to be able to kill the Lord of Atlantis.
Yes.
And then once that happens, Brandon's not taking lethal anymore unless
He's just dead to a
David
top
has
deck
another
Lord.
creature.
Ooh,
But
he does have Snapcaster.
His Snapcaster's Plow. Jeez.
That'll be good for next turn.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mana to do it yet. I think he has to equip.
I think getting the equipment going is more critical than killing a creature this turn. I think getting the equipment going is gonna, in the long run, be better for him.
Yeah.
Like, you could... It's pretty close here. Like, Snapcaster swords on what? Lord of Atlantis? And then you still have a blocker? Like, either way, you're dead to a top deck Lord, right?
Indeed. Or if there's already one in hand.
Yeah. I think if there were one in hand, he would have attacked. It would have been lethal then.
Oh, sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah. Or it would have put him to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has land now.
Brandon's hand is just Snapcaster right now, just the 1 card.
Yeah, just deciding whether or not he wants to equip or if he wants to snap plow. And if he does want to snap plow, does he want to do it now or does he want to do it on David's turn?
Yeah, Brandon's got to do some important math here to figure out if he can get out of this.
Another thing that just equipping and attacking... equipping and attacking, killing Lord of Atlantis, right? That's like...
I think that would be the play, yeah.
Then any creature that David puts in kills him.
Yeah.
Whereas Snap Plow, only the true name's going to be able to attack, yeah. Alright, so yeah, Brandon goes for the equip and attacks. David takes.
Certainly has no blocks here.
Brandon also could potentially just play the Snapcaster as an Ambush Viper.
If he really needs to.
Does David have a 2-drop?
I would activate Vial no matter what. Oh, man.
Why?
Because that makes him use it now.
Why does it make him...
What if he puts in another Lord?
Oh, sure.
Or another image or something like that?
I mean, maybe Brandon thinks he just can't beat another Lord anyway.
TX Rager, he cannot kill the image because it's a true name nemesis.
Wow, this is insane now. Brandon can block Lord of Atlantis with Snapcaster and just remove one counter to kill Silvergill.
Ooh.
Right? Looks like he's removed both counters to kill Lord of Atlantis, though.
Well, then he would take lethal if he did that.
How?
Because the effect won't go into play until the Lord is dead.
He wouldn't... Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, he would.
I think Brandon's still going to Ambush Viper here, though. Because I think Ambush Viper will swing the brace in his favor now.
Okay.
Once he's going to, like... Your play is the same as...
Except he doesn't die.
Yes. That's the big difference.
Yeah, it is a bit of a difference.
Snapcaster, target something. Block. Yeah, Brandon taking 3, going to 2. And now it's True Name versus True Name with Jitte. Who do you take?
Well, one player's at 16, the other's at 2.
But
you gained 4 turns, so...
Ooh, Ponder was a great draw for Brandon. Finds. Ooh. Stoneforge Mystic.
Seems good.
Stoneforge Mystic, Brainstorm. I don't even think you take... I mean, you could Brainstorm 2, but you know you're just going to take the Stoneforge Mystic, so I don't even see the point. Like, this Brainstorm actually doesn't do anything.
Yes. And if he had saved it for after the Stoneforge...
Well, no.
I mean, if you think
gonna,
he was just going to play the Stoneforge no matter what?
Yeah, I think you want to get, like, either Sword of Fire and Ice or Batterskull going.
Yeah, so I guess he just removed a Brainstorm from his deck.
Yeah, that's kind of the net result there. All right, 2 counters on Jitte. Stoneforge coming down. Does David have, like, a Daze or something? Doesn't look like it. I think this is definitely just going to go straight for Batterskull.
Very interesting. This game was very close.
Yeah.
But now it seems to be over.
I don't know. Even if David had copied the Lord of Atlantis, I don't think he could have won. Especially because it would have just gotten taken down by a Jitte.
It was close.
I think David just has a bunch of islands in his hand now at this point.
Yeah, this is something that can happen with fish.
Yeah, you just draw your islands. It is just truly insane that this deck doesn't play Brainstorm.
Yep.
It takes a true commitment to the mono blue life, to the Merfolk life, to decide I want to play a different broken 1-drop. All right, Brandon going to gain 4 life here, going to 7, and then take 3, go down to 4. Right? No, go to 6, go to 3. Excuse me.
How dare you?
He's gaining 1 life a turn and hitting David for 3. Draws a Spell Pierce, pretty dead draw at this point in the game. True Name getting in there for 3 again. I mean, if David draws his own True Name or another image, he's like not out of this. He's quickly falling behind though, and I think this might have been his last turn to have it with this Batterskull coming down. He's just got 5 lands, True Name, and a Vial on 2.
Yeah, now this is going to be lethal. Well, if Brandon finds a land, it's lethal.
David could also just not attack. He's going to attack. Brandon gains 1 from the exchange after removing 2 counters, going to 4. And just passes back to Brandon. Brandon puts in Batterskull, gets a Germ token.
Now, if Brandon has land, he can move it over to True Name. Well, no, it's still not lethal because he gained the life.
It's just 8.
Yeah, I don't really see the point of gaining the life.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, like, I understand not dying, but he also could have killed him, like, 2 turns ago. Or this turn for sure.
If he had used 1 less counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, attack for 7 here, putting David to 3. I think this is also, I mean, like, yeah, giving 1 extra turn is relevant, but Brandon has this so far locked up.
Yeah, that's true.
I think David just said, David has just 3 islands and a vial in his hand.
Yep.
Ah, yes, the good old Merfolk draws.
This is what you signed up for.
When you play your deck with 4 Aether Vials and 0 Brainstorms.
Yes.
Feels real good, doesn't it, Greg?
It feels.
It feels. That's what I want to hear. All right, game 2. David's going to be on the play for this one. So is there much that David has, you think, post-board that'll help him out here? Like, what do you? I mean, like, I don't know what the Merfolk sideboard tends to include these days.
Against Stoneforge Mystic decks, I know that my plan used to be a bunch of dismembers.
Did you ever play Jittes in your sideboard so you could image their Stoneforges and get your Jitte?
I never completed that, but I did play like Jitte in the board.
Did you play like a couple?
Like one or two, I think I only ever had one. It's not like really the plan, like it's not really what you want to be doing. It has a misdirection in the sideboard.
Misdirection is pretty good against True Name Nemesis. Because you can misdirect their spells because True Name only has protection from your spells, right?
Ooh.
So if they go swords your lord, you can misdirect it to their True Name Nemesis.
That's pretty sweet.
So that's definitely something I consider. Doesn't look like David wants to bring in Dismember though.
Huh. Okay.
I actually don't hate Daze in this matchup. I think Daze is like fine. The problem is the games do go kind of long, but like the best card in the matchup is a 2-drop.
You also want a shorter game.
Yes, you want If you're the Merfolk deck,
yeah,
making the game as short as possible definitely seems ideal.
Apparently there are some amount of Chalice the Voids in the main deck too.
I think he was boarding in another one.
Okay.
Chalice is good.
Yeah, I mean, Chalice on 1.
It's not game over by any means because again, Brandon's best spells cost 2.
Yes.
But
allowing your creatures to live, for the most part, is definitely nice.
At minimum, turning off Swords to Plowshares and Brainstorm is like enough, and Pyroblast post board. Really, Pyroblast is such a big game. Is pretty powerful here. So I think, if he's able to get a Chalice going early, I think that'll be pretty powerful. I don't think there are Wastelands in David's deck. I think usually if you're playing Cavern, you're not playing Wasteland.
Yeah, you won't really have enough islands otherwise.
Yeah, you play just like Cavern and Mutavault are your non-basics, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I've even seen like the versions that play as many as 10 non-basics, but they don't play Wasteland. They just play a couple Mishra's Factories.
Mm-hmm. More man lands. It makes you really good against Miracles.
Or at least better.
Better.
I think that's a very close matchup in general. And like likely not super favorable.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Like
Snap Plow is just very frustrating.
Snapcaster Mage is just an absurd Magic card.
Yeah.
I know when Merfolk was a dominant deck, it was right before Worldwide came out. Really, as soon as Worldwide came out and people started experimenting with Stoneforge Mystic and Legacy, and like Stoneblade became a deck.
Yeah.
I guess New Phyrexia is really the nail in the coffin because
the power level of the fair decks skyrocketed.
Yeah, but I guess I don't mean when this was just getting Jitte, it was good, but the fact that it got when Batterskull got printed and Stoneforge Mystic really became a card in Legacy, it just completely removed Fish's spot in the metagame.
Sure.
Much like how when Deathrat Shaman completely destroyed goblins. Although this also did a number on goblins, just getting Batterskull is so hard. Batterskull and GT are both still insane against that deck.
Yeah.
I see a Silvergill add up, so... And a Vial. This hand looks great. It doesn't have True Name effects, but it has a turn 1 Vial and several good cards.
Sounds good.
Honestly, just turn 1 Vial is enough for me.
Does Brandon have the Force? He
Nope.
does not.
He has Pyroblast Counterspell.
Counterspell, not a great card in this matchup.
It's not great, but I think it's acceptable. I think it's worse than Force of Will, though.
I think I agree. I mean, it looks like Brandon just drew Force of Will, too.
Ooh. Oh, no.
This seems like a great thing to
Pyroblast? This seems like the perfect card to Pyroblast. Brandon making sure that you reveal as you cast. And I think he's just going to immediately Pyroblast this. I would almost just, not want to play anything into Brandon's potential Pyroblast. Maybe that's just foolish. Because Pyroblast is going to get you no matter what. But missing out on this card is a big deal. I don't think David has a third land.
If David didn't have another play for this turn, I think he has to go for this. Only exactly Pyroblast really punishes you.
I guess you're right. He has 4 lords in his hand.
Yeah, I might have been inclined instead to put a lord in there because
the card is just better.
With that many lords, he has 4 lords in hand.
Yeah.
So the Silvergill is more unique.
Yeah, it's different.
And this is a grindy matchup typically.
So making sure you get your 2-for-1s online is pretty important, is what you're saying?
Seems nice, yeah.
Well, pretty good news if you're David. You see Brandon play on Island and Pass, not playing a Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, so now David's activating the Vial with nothing to put into play.
Surprise.
Getting me. He's getting me. Vial going up to 2 here.
Didn't sell it enough.
Now, we draw a Daze. I don't think this is... Ooh, actually, this is probably going to work out really well for him. He gets to go... especially because he doesn't have the land drop. We're going to see Brandon counterspell this. David can Daze it, and then play the land for his turn.
Yep. Seems like the best use of days he's going to get.
Yep. Daze your counterspell. I don't think... Brandon does have a Force of Will. He could fight back, but... That's putting you behind a lot.
Exile Simian Spirit Guide, pay for days. Clearly.
Get him.
This is what we've learned from our stream.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to predict the Spirit Guide blowouts.
Oh, and David did not replay the land.
Ooh. A little awkward. I don't think it'll come back to hurt him too much, but...
No.
Well,
There's no reason to not, though.
No, it's certainly not. The island in your hand is not doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's very possible you draw 3 drops.
Yeah, I mean, you could be, like, repping, like, Spell Pierce or something.
Brandon going to start things off with a crack of a
Nothing
fetch
else.
land. Figure this one is going to go get a white land. We'll see which one. Picks up a Tundra. I feel like David's cards are going to be very unblockable going forward.
Seems likely.
I mean, Brandon only has 3 islands. He might run out. You think David's sideboard's in Boil?
Maybe.
You think Brandon's sideboard's in Boil?
Choke.
Yeah. 2 mana.
A lot
Ooh,
of green mana running around here.
is this Stoneforge Mystic? If so, we've got a problem.
Oh, that's how quickly you can race it.
And lots of Lords is a good way to race this.
Yeah. You're just passing,
Ooh,
right?
it's got to be good news if you're
I
David.
think you have to activate if you're David.
Oh yeah, I think I think 2 creatures is basically ideal.
I don't know what they're talking about right now.
Oh, he has Snapcaster. I think he's gonna Snapcaster Pyroblast this.
Okay. When are we?
I think this is Brandon's main phase.
Okay. So that's fine. There's nothing David can do here.
No, he just has a bunch of Lords and a land in his hand. I think they're just discussing what's going on in the game right now. All right, Pyroblast is destroy target blue permanent right now. Is the mode.
I think we're talking about when we are.
Counter target spell if it is blue, or destroy target permanent if it is blue. Notably, Pyroblast can target non-blue things.
Yeah.
Just won't destroy it.
I don't know what we would be talking about.
We're just trying to discern what is going on via the hand motions of both players.
Yeah. I feel like Brandon passed or something, but then tried to do stuff. Because hand motions were made... Oh, so he tapped those lands.
He tapped the lands.
He tapped the red land for Snapcaster.
Is that what's going on?
I don't know why they would have tapped these. But then he can't...
Actually, I don't think he did. But
I don't know.
are they rewinding? Is that what's going on? I think Steve is rewinding the game state. I mean, he hasn't put anything on the stack here. It's like it doesn't actually matter what mana is floating. What's the ruling?
No, you've been watching. I don't know. Brendan's confused because he was going to do something end step, but I believe his lands were tapped. I wanted to make you have you confirm.
What lands?
Yeah.
What end step?
He didn't cast any spells.
Are you saying you want to do something on David's end step?
No. Are his lands tapped? I don't know what phase we're in. He
No.
wasn't really good
We
at
thought that
explaining.
he was just snap pyroblasting during Brandon's main phase.
We
Okay.
thought that's what we thought Brandon was doing. We thought he was snap Pyroblasting on his own main phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't. I mean, if he tapped anything, he went tap untap.
Okay.
Like I don't think he was casting a spell.
Looks like first turn Ether Vial, second turn you got land.
Yeah, David just
Staying
didn't.
with
David
Daze.
did not replay his land from Daze. That's why he doesn't have his second land in play.
He also
Okay,
missed
so
a
the-
land drop.
No,
So-
Brandon went untap, crack his fetch land, tapped lands, untapped them. Like didn't put anything.
He
Didn't
do
put anything on the
this
stack.
turn. I don't
Oh, yeah.
So it's
understand.
somewhere between
This-
his main
this-
phase and his sunset.
Yeah,
Yes.
we didn't know if he was still in the main phase or the end step.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely did not. He actually did not tap that red land to cast Snapcaster.
Okay, good.
Because I know I specifically know he tapped the white one because I thought it was going to be Stoneforge Mystic.
Sure. Okay. Then it seems like it should be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks like there was just a miscommunication about what phase of the game we're in. We're also confused, TX Rager. But hopefully
This didn't seem complicated.
No, I mean this is the complication arose from a very simple board state.
We don't know what they were saying to each other, though. There was a lot of hand gesturing and a lot of talking.
That's all. And of course we don't have any information as to what was going on in that parlay.
Yeah, that was I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Thanks, Greg. Greg really wanted it to be the Ice Age Pyroblast.
I wanted the black border.
Why?
I like black border more than white border.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad.
Me too.
Yeah, I really don't know what the confusion is here.
Are they thinking about what turns were like? Ugh, man, what?
Let's not blame anyone. I think this
I
is
know.
just this appears to be. If there's ever a miscommunication in a game, it's never one player's fault. It's always both players' fault.
It's how like one bad driver doesn't make a car accident. It has to be two.
I don't like that analogy at all.
Why?
Because one bad car driver definitely makes an accident.
I don't know.
Have you seen bad car drivers? We live in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, they try to cause it, and then I swerve away on my bike.
Well, yeah. Well, they don't pay attention to us anyways.
That's very true. Man, I almost got doored the other day.
Same.
I yelled at the lady a lot.
Did you stop your bike?
No.
Okay. It's a terrifying feeling.
I love it when they almost door you, and then they half-heartedly say, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, that doesn't really cut it. Could have broken my neck.
It's like, you could have killed me. It could have been bad. All right, I think right now we're figuring out what is going on here. By the way, the white card in Brandon's hand is a Council Judgment, not Stoneforge Mystic. It's possible, if Brandon tried to snap Pyroblast on his own end step, that is a fair play. You can certainly do that.
Maybe he's confused whether or not he tried to pyroblast his own Snapcaster.
That's a legal play.
It's legal.
But he can't counter it.
He
would be
cannot
destroying it.
counter.
You have to destroy it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
All right, so I think we have a resolution. I think Brandon just passing the turn to David. Is that what's going on?
Who freaking knows?
Brendan's game face.
Okay.
It's funny when both players just don't know like what turn it is.
They don't know what turn it is. It's the third turn. It's Brandon's third turn.
Days really
played a
screwed
land.
them
I'm like,
up.
yeah, these days Brandon has 3 lands, I believe.
Well,
This is
It
David's
does-
fourth turn.
It does make sense that David also was confused what turn it was because he dazed on his own turn and didn't play the land he picked up.
Mhm.
But he could have. He
Yes.
didn't play a land yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what confused things. Okay. Okay. They just didn't play land.
Right.
Yeah.
David going for Lord of Atlantis here. We've got double Master of Pearl Trident, the second one coming down on end step. Yeah, we were trying to figure out what was going on in the chat. No one could figure it out.
So with this many lords, all right. So Brandon going to force pitching Brainstorm.
I like this Force of Will a lot.
I do too. I also think he should wait on the Pyro. Well, I guess David knows there's a Pyroblast coming.
I mean, I think what we're going to see Brandon do is attempt to Pyroblast in combat and block.
Yeah.
Yep, your Snapcaster Mage. And then David's going to have to put in the fourth Lord.
Yep, before blocks.
So
He can let the Pyroblast resolve. It doesn't really matter when he puts in this last Lord.
yeah, as long as he puts in one to make sure that this one does not trade with the Snapcaster.
Yeah.
All right, 3 damage coming across, putting Brandon to 14. And now it's just Brandon with 2 cards in hand and a Snapcaster. I don't think he has much else. Oh, he can Council's Judgment one of these. It'll put him Hellbent, effectively. He'll just be at a land, or both players will be at a land.
Mm-hmm.
But David will certainly be a little bit favored in the top deck war. Ooh, Brandon changing his mind. Oh, he's going for the plateau. Need that second red. Multiple Pyroblasts.
Ugh.
How likely did you think we were going to see plateau in 2 different decks here?
Well, I didn't really expect it to see Plateau in the Counterspell deck.
Yeah, it doesn't show up that often. All right, Council's Judgment here coming down.
going to exile Master of the Pearl Trident, assuming that David votes for the same copy that Brandon does.
Yep. Right now, Brandon basically letting him know that, like, I vote for this card. What do you want to vote for? And the answer is always the same card.
There
are very, very few situations.
Not many I can think of.
Control magic is the big reason.
Okay.
Like, if they go choose your control magic, you just choose the creature that you control.
Okay.
And they don't get their creature back.
Great.
It's more of a cube situation.
Sounds great.
Admittedly. All right, let's see if David can draw another Lord here to make his Master unblockable. It doesn't have a ton left.
No, there's not that many left.
I think it's just...
Phantasmal Image is maybe the one that there's the most left of.
Yeah, I think this is actually... This might be all 4 Masters. Or just 3. I think we've gone through 3 Masters and a Lord.
Yeah. Just passes. Has Mutavault, though, which can attack...
Next turn. Brandon right off the top draws Pithing Needle.
You assume, I think, that it's naming Mutavault.
I
could name Vial.
I feel like it's definitely naming Mutavault, but I will go out and check. Confirm.
David drawing for his turn. Has Island and an Unknown in hand. Alright, so named Aether Vial. Interesting. I think I would have named Mutavault. Ooh, and that was an attack for 3, actually. Passes back. Does Brandon. I know.
We were wrong!
Well, I think we were right, actually.
Oh, well, did you get the life total?
I did. Attack for 3 with a Mutavault last turn.
Yeah, I'm definitely... I think this is a bit of a misstep by Brandon. Like, naming... When your opponent already has... Wait, what is...
This is Hardcast.
Oh, God! This is the worst feeling.
That's fine. It's because, yeah, Vial was turned off by Needle that
Yeah.
has to do this.
He had to hardcast it.
I mean, this is fine.
I mean, yeah, he drew his card. He had the land. Like, imagine if he didn't have it.
Yeah, if Brandon was lower on life, I would like continuing to shove with the Mutavault, but now Brandon gets to attack with 2 creatures that are each pumped and unblockable.
I think, yeah, now things are turning pretty heavily in David's favor.
Yeah, it looks
Ooh, is this
like
another
Brandon
Lord?
might have... Ooh.
Chalice on 1.
Chalice on 1.
This is a great lead. Leading with this pre-combat is very good here.
Yeah, any potential plow on the Mutavault or...
On the Lord.
On the Lord, yeah.
And here's an attack for 6, and now Brandon's dead on board.
Yeah, next turn.
We draw Supreme Verdict? It's basically our out, right? Ooh, Ponder.
Ponder
Gets countered. Yep, 3 lands in hand, and David's ran away with this game. We got a game 3 between these 2 players.
A little quick there on the Ponder.
Oh, well,
Ponder grabbed the top of my deck.
Most importantly, David being quicker.
Yeah.
I guarantee that is more forgetting that Chalice is in play than anything else.
Probably.
I gotta say though, as someone who plays decks that often get Chaliced, you always gotta make sure they remember it.
Yeah, you do.
It's like Brainstorm, and they're like, okay, and you're like, all right.
Yeah. You
it
don't
is a
try
trigger.
to grab the top 3 cards before they can point to their chalice?
No, I put it down and I look at them. And I
And
see
you try not to look too guilty?
No, I try not to look at the Chalice. I try not to draw their attention, or just play Brainstorm and look away. That kind of looks sad.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's a trigger you have to hit. It's easier on Magic Online where it just counters everything for you.
That makes sense.
But yeah.
So this matchup, I mean, it looked good for Brandon there, but he just like flooded out at the end, I guess. Like, I don't know what went wrong there for him, other than David's draw just being better.
I honestly think that was a large chunk of it. Brandon just didn't draw his like powerful cards, like the cards that win the game.
Yeah.
He drew like all of his good reactive cards. Like he drew.
He didn't draw any Swords to Plowshares. He really just had Pyroblast, Snap, Pyroblast.
Which I think a lot of the times will be enough to win the game, but he didn't draw like he didn't draw anything that kills him. Well, he just didn't draw like either a True Name or a Stoneforge.
Sure.
Really Stoneforge
or a Verdict or whatever.
Yeah, I think if there's a Stoneforge mixed in there, Brandon would be hard pressed to lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
But given that he whiffed, yeah, he's He just didn't have anything to fight through David's steady tide of low-quality creatures.
Yeah.
Just relentless rats, as I like to call them. All right, both players looking at their 7s. Needle is a nice sideboard card here, though. I think Brandon misnamed by not going after the Mutavault, but in the end, I don't think it would have mattered a ton. All right, there's a Chalice in David's opener, unfortunately on the draw. Let's see if he decides to keep this.
Looks like he's mulling.
No, both players kept. Lands and spells. What's not to like? He also has the possibility of a daze, but no turn 1 Vial. If Brandon jams a Stoneforge here, though, I don't know, no Stoneforge.
Holding up Counterspell.
I think we're going to see Chalice with Daze back up here.
Ooh, that seems great.
Chalice for 1. Let's see if Brandon has the Counterspell. He does have it. He has multiple white cards as well. They just he choose not to play a Stoneforge this turn.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of restraint.
Does.
Figure this is going to go pick up a Tundra here.
Maybe he's scared of getting dazed.
It's got to be at least something playing in there. Let's see what he has to present. This is going to get dazed, right?
Seems likely.
I can't imagine like saving it for anything else. Yep. Dazed coming in, and this Chalice of the Void is in play.
Kevin KB94, thank you for the follow. And now for Brandon's 3rd turn, draws Swords to Plowshares. And that's not currently resolvable, but True Name Nemesis certainly is. And now David might be forced into the spot where, like, not having Vial, he's just really behind on tempo. And if Brandon's hand isn't completely turned off by the Chalice, then David might be in some trouble. It does look like Brandon is sitting on 3 copies of Swords to Plowshares, though.
He does have a Stoneforge, though, as well.
Yeah, so it seems like his hand is completely contingent currently on getting that Stoneforge to resolve and hooking up a Jitte to that True Name.
There's a Phantasmal Image.
Only 1 copy choice.
I will choose True Name, and I will choose you.
Yeah.
Let's pull up True Name Nemesis for a second.
Good choices.
Good old True Name Nemesis. Good old Format Warping Commander card.
He cooked the 4th. Enchantress is very cool, but yeah.
It's not a real Legacy deck in the strictest sense of the words,
It's
right?
not. It's probably not going to win you a tournament.
Probably not.
Not a big one, at least.
Definitely not. I think it takes some people by surprise, but there are just some rough matchups. So, Phantasmal Image's text is still, if it would become the target of a spell or ability, then sacrifice a Phantasmal Image. But there's no way for Brandon to target it, given that it has protection from Brandon.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do. All right, Brandon right now... Oh, he has a Council's Judgment, which does take care of it.
Does.
Now it's just up to David if he wants to Force of Will. He has Force of Will and his own copy of True Name Nemesis,
Ooh.
Chalice of the Void, and a land. Yeah, and David just gonna let that happen. It's exiled, and an attack for 3. David's being pretty patient with this Force of Will here.
Just really scared of Jitte, it seems like.
Ooh, I don't think he has. If he plays True Name, I don't think he has another blue card. I think he just has islands, and I think he's just lands and Chalice.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's an actual True Name coming down. Is this the turn we see Stoneforge?
Seems like it. Taps the plateau.
Yeah. Hey man, you gotta tap the plateau. Gotta hold up counterspell still.
Uh-huh.
See if Brandon has anything he can do about this.
He has no other play.
Yeah. Stoneforge Mystic. And yeah, David just has Force of Will, 2 lands, and a Chalice. And that resolves. And now we've got issues.
I definitely like not just casting the Jitte.
Ooh,
I think
is he going for Batterskull?
That is very surprising.
He's going for Batterskull here. I thought he was going to go straight for Jitte.
Me too.
Yeah, Batterskull going to the... To be fair, I think both are like very unbeatable here.
Well, Batterskull gets straight up blocked by True Name.
Not until it goes on. Not until it goes on his true name.
Yeah, he needs. That's 2 turns. I don't know. Jitte
It's
just
two-
seems strictly better. Not
Strictly better is a strong.
It seems
strong.
Sorry, it
statement.
seems way better.
I think it's definite. I think it is better. But I understand the motivation behind going for Batterskull. Both make it basically impossible for David to race.
It's gonna look pretty bad if Brandon does not hit a 5th land.
Yes, I agree with that. Well, yes.
I mean, assuming that David holds back his true name.
All right.
And maybe if David has some answer to an artifact that we're not currently seeing.
Brandon drawing Pyroblast, another dead card. I mean, if he draws another non-land here, then this play is going to look significantly worse, as you said. True name gets in there, dropping David down to 14. And Brandon barely ahead in this race until if he cracks that fetch line, I think he actually falls behind.
Yeah, I mean, the Batterskull is going to represent Brandon winning the race anyway because it's going to force David to
Not
leave his
attack.
own. Yeah, so it's going to accomplish the goal. It's just like. It just doesn't. I don't know.
Ooh, oh, all right. We got Silvergill revealing Master of the Pearl Trident.
Okay. Get some fire.
There's another cavern coming down, naming, I'm assuming, Merfolk, and there's Master of the Pearl Trident. So we could see... Are we going to attack here? All right. Attack for 4. I'm not in love with this attack.
Yeah, knowing that Batterskull was coming in.
Yeah, I think I would have been more inclined to hold back True Name this turn.
Yeah, because also, I mean, Batterskull can't attack at all, then...
Brandon has 5 1-drops in his hand.
Yeah, I mean...
3 Swords to Plowshares.
If David didn't attack, Brandon can only swing with his true name, and then next turn David can start attacking with his Silvergill unblockably.
Yep. I think a bit of a misstep in combat here from David. He draws Daze. He has another Master. Oh boy,
That's great.
that's a lot of damage.
So the true name is untapped.
Yeah, this is actually pre-combat. This True Name is certainly untapped. But yeah, here's another uncounterable Master. If he
Now-
attacks with everyone, it's, what, 5... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This puts Brandon to 2? Sorry, to 4. This is a very aggressive attack from David. I think it's safer to hold back True Name. It looks really bad if Brandon draws a land. Is the downside.
Yes.
But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Brandon's at 4. Gets countered. Good on you. Remember that trigger.
Just checking.
Does Brandon draw the land? No, he draws Force of Will. And this is what you were saying. This is like the exact punishment that comes from getting Batterskull over Jitte. I think if Brandon had gotten Jitte, we would be able to run away from this with this game pretty comfortably. But getting Batterskull cost him the game.
Yep.
He can go up to 8, but he just dies on the crackback.
Yeah, Batterskull is not that... Like, it's fine here. I think this race is actually closer than it could have been.
I think with Jitte or Sword of Fire and Ice, this would be... Well, actually, Sword wouldn't have been that good. No, Sword would have been pretty... I think Sword would have been pretty insane.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Batterskull is just the worst equipment to get.
Yeah, I think it was. Even Sword just lets you pick off boards.
Yeah, I think Brandon just had like sort of the his eyes were bigger than his stomach, you know.
Yeah, I think fetching Batterskull more often than you should is like a thing that commonly happens as people get more and more used to Legacy, because it's objectively the most broken thing you can do with your Stoneforge Mystic. You know, because you're cheating so much on mana.
Yes.
But situationally, it often happens that it's just better to get Jitte, because Jitte is an insane card.
Yes, Jitte. I mean, yeah, it's banned in Modern for a reason.
Yeah, and Batterskull's not.
Nope. Well, to be fair, Stoneforge Mystic is banned.
Yeah, whatever.
For a reason. In
For
any
a
case, It's David. I mean, so Brandon's actually 8 right here.
Yeah.
Now it's up to David to do 2 things. 1, turn his creature sideways. 2, remember his chalice triggers.
Yep. So,
David turns all of his creatures sideways. Brandon extends the hand. David takes that one down. Merfolk moving to 2-0 here, defeating Jeskai Stoneblade in 3 games.
Chalice looked good there.
Chalice looked extremely good. I mean, the old 5-for-1,
Yeah.
pretty good. Actually, just nugging every card in Brandon's hand.
Was it even more than 5?
It was 5.
Because he also cast a couple.
No,
Okay.
At the most, it was 3 Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah.
And then which he had in his hand,
Yeah.
which got taken out, and then he drew Pyroblast Spell Snare.
Okay. Spell Snare. Jeez.
Yeah, I think he plays 1 Spell Snare in the deck, which I like. Spell Snare. I think Spell Snare is a bit of an underplayed card in the format.
Yeah. Has
it,
its moments.
yes, it does. Any case, it's round 2.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot. Like Merfolk is a deck you don't get to see a ton in the format.
Yes.
But
When it works, it works.
Relentless Rats.
We picked against, we incorrectly picked both of our rounds so far.
That's true. We've been over. Oh no, we thought that I think we were pretty. I think we picked the first round correctly. I think the second match of the first round. we were wrong.
Sure.
Like I think we thought that Sneak and Show was going to be able to beat lands.
Okay. But then we thought that Painter was going to beat
Shardless.
Yeah.
We did think that. We were wrong about that, and we were wrong that Jeskai Stoneblade was going to win. I mean, Brandon did not draw particularly well, and he did get savaged by that Chalice.
That was very good.
But yeah, not having but I think Brandon could have won that last game if he had picked up Jite.
Yes.
I think he would have been able to outrace pretty easily. Specifically, also would have been able to take down those creatures.
Yeah, the lords were coming one at a time,
Yeah.
not off of vials, so
No.
they're pretty easy to pick off with Jite as you go.
All right, got pairings for the next round here. All right, our undefeated players are Houtman and Andrew Bowman.
Should we just watch that?
Oh
Yes.
man, the Enchantress versus Sneak and Show.
Yeah, we should do
Elephant
that.
Grass is pretty good against Grizzlebrand. I don't know if you know this. Yeah, let's put that on. That's a fun matchup.
Two of our more experienced players as well.
We've another match that is very interesting that
Uh-huh.
I hope we can get on afterwards.
Yeah, what's
Is
that?
Greg Ivy versus Nathan Mullen.
Okay. Storm versus Miracles. Yeah, that matchup's cool.
One of my favorite matchups to play
Yeah.
in particular. It is extremely intricate. It is also extremely frustrating. Zach Witten borrowed my deck to
Your
play.
Storm deck.
Yeah, to play in the Legacy Classic.
Okay.
And he shows up after the second round, at the first round, and I said, "Did you win?" And he said, "Not even close." And I said, "What happened?" He's like, "Well, I played against Miracles. I dressed him on turn 1. He had a top. I took his top. He untaps. His opponent untaps, draws, plays a land, plays top.
Yeah.
And Zach's like, all right, that was really frustrating. Untaps, dresses him again, takes his counterbalance.
Yeah.
His opponent untaps, draws, plays counterbalance. And I'm like, that's every time I play Miracles. You think you're in a good spot, and they just top deck the hell out of you.
It's a good deck.
It is a good deck. It's a very good deck. It's very underrepresented at our store in particular.
It is.
But yeah,
If I wasn't commentating, I could try it out.
if only. I'd love to watch the the science dog, the dog in a lab coat that says I have no idea what I'm doing. That's you playing Miracles.
I can learn.
I know, but I'm saying right now you're that dog.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're doing, and it's
Yeah,
great.
Mike S. Gordon's. I don't know.
Try again.
Yeah, it's raining today in Chicago, so Phil and I wore baseball hats.
We woke up and it's like it's raining. Of course we have to wear a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Greg is generally a fan of the Ant side. Thank you, Barnabas of Runes. Do you know? Can you figure out who Barnabas of Runes is?
I'm not sure.
Well, Barnabas is the name of It's Barnabas Ivy is the name I'm aware
Oh.
of. As a dog, good-looking
Okay.
doggy. Barnabas, brother to
I got it now.
brother to Floyd.
Yeah.
Barnabas and Floyd, they're good brothers.
Okay.
Anyways, top down.
Mike Gordon. What?
We'll figure it. Mike's, yeah, that's the one.
What?
Kyle Hammond on the left, Andrew Bowman on the right. Let's get these names correct here. Both players 2-0. So how many play last round?
I don't know.
Houtman.
We saw him defeat James Lauerman on lands in the first round. And
Pretty
round,
lopsided, we might add.
Oh, so in round 2, Kyle Houtman beat Nathan Mullen on Storm.
That is a very, very intricate matchup as well. Just because.
Didn't we see them play last week?
No.
Or maybe it
We
was
watched
another...
Kyle play Zinni.
Oh, okay.
We watched Zinni win lose the unlosable game.
No, I think we watched Houtman play both of them. I thought we've seen Show and Tell versus Ant recently. I thought.
It's possible. I don't remember, honestly.
Maybe I'm going crazy.
Maybe. You could be going crazy.
Yeah, I probably already went crazy, to be honest.
Like, we're not here to monitor your mental health, Greg.
Agreed.
Just trying to tell you, I hope you're well.
Thank you.
I wonder. So, from what I can tell, the cards that really matter are like Elephant Grass, and
It's usually Caracas hanging out.
there's usually a Krakus in the Enchantress deck somewhere. Game 1 seems hard. There's an exploration of, I think, no second land.
Yeah.
Kyle's hand looks pretty solid.
Looks like Bowman's keeping.
Kyle's got turn 1 Show and Tell.
Okay.
I really hope.
Show and Tell in Grizzlebrand?
Oh, yeah. Yes, Bowman does usually play lands, but he also really enjoys Enchantress.
So, Houtman has the Nutter Butters of Show and Tell Grizzlebrand turn 1 with Force of Will backup. It's just the 6-card perfect.
Oh, must be nice.
Yeah,
Wild Growth
that resolves.
on my forest. Do we care? Are we force of willing this? We're not.
No, we're not doing that. I think Houtman now knows what he's playing against. Draws Lotus Petal. He's shoving. There's no way he's
definitely
not shoving.
shove. You have to shove. This is like, I mean, I can't imagine not. All right, City Traders, Lotus Petal, tap for colorless, make a blue mana, Show and Tell. What's Andrew putting into play?
Hopefully it's Humility.
Hopefully it's Elephant Grass. Or Gothian Enchantress.
Not quite.
This might not be good enough. Is there a Nykthos in his hand?
Also, Houtman having force
And also-
for anything relevant.
And also 14 extra cards?
Yeah, well, whenever he wants to. He doesn't do it now, but it looks like upkeep he's drawing cards.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
it makes just doing it right now seems fine. I mean, he could do it whenever, but
Yeah.
and he's definitely going to do it so he doesn't have to discard.
Yeah.
I mean, all the cards in his hand are good.
Mm-hmm. Picks up another force, so now he'll have double force protection. Can also leave himself with like a couple lands.
Oh my god!
What?
He drew the Emrakul! If he had Emrakul in his opener,
Oh no.
how insane would that have been?
Well, maybe Houtman will cast another Show and Tell.
Enchantress's Presence. Draw a card.
Garok. I don't actually know if we have any Death and Taxes in the room tonight.
Wow. Oh my god, I'm so sad. I'm like so desperately sad.
Yeah.
That wasn't in his hand.
Yeah.
It was one card away. One card, man.
Which presumably is also a one of Emrakul.
Oh, absolutely. That's why it would have been so devastating to have gotten it.
So here Houtman
Oh my god.
is presumably going to play a land, play his Lotus Petals.
Do you think he plays another Show and Tell?
I don't think he risks it, right?
What if he
He's
does?
drawing. All right.
I think he's gonna do it.
He might be trying to find Sneak Attack.
Yeah, Sneak Attack, which I don't think he's found.
Sneak Attack would have to be accompanied by many Lotus Petals also.
He has at least one that he drew for the first turn.
Yes.
And
Like
and now
it would have to be Lotus Petal land
yeah,
to actually be able to sneak attack in an Emrakul there.
he does have the Show and Tell.
I can't imagine Show and Telling.
I'm
doesn't
not gonna rule it out.
It doesn't seem like there's any reason to, you know?
He could play a Jace. I mean, like, what's the... Yeah, I agree. Like, having a million Force of Wills just seems probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he
three-
just has to attack 2 more times and counter whatever is relevant.
I think he's just going to discard here, keeping 3 force, 3 blue cards.
It's kind of interesting he's not playing land.
Lotus
yeah, you
Petal.
can play Lotus Petal because that's freebie. Don't need to discard that.
I mean, yeah, it's really just
Yeah, he plays land. This makes sense.
pitches the City Chairs. Yeah, he's not doing it. Man,
All right, he's leaving himself with triple Force of Will, and I think 3 blue cards. Yeah,
Probably 4 blue cards.
he might be 3 blue cards plus another land.
His brainstorm. Yeah, I don't think he's even leaving himself with the show and tell. Often Jace, to note Jace's presence in this deck, often Jace is just another, basically it's 2 things. It's 1, it's another win condition in the deck, and 2, it's just as busted a card to ramp out as show and tell.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
The thing about this line that Houtman's taken is that he has actually weak to Caracas, because that's the one thing that his Force of Wills can't stop.
Yes, but Bowman does need to draw it.
Yeah.
He's never going to crop rotation to it.
Right.
He has several draws this turn.
Yeah, he can still cast his spells and draw 2 cards per. So he's probably just going... He has to get hit 2 more times, so it seems like he can just cantrip as much as possible to try to find Caracas.
Yeah. I mean,
Which we think is main deck.
I think there's got to be at least one, probably one Caracas main deck.
Yeah, it seems like the opportunity cost to have 1 is pretty low.
All right, make 2 green. We have another Wild Growth. We have Exploration, 2 triggers. We draw Helm of Obedience and Forest.
Looks like Exploration on the stack.
Let's see. Yeah,
Houtman might want to counter this just because it might... Well, it looks like he's letting him resolve.
I think letting Exploration resolve is not the worst thing in the world. Now
It's an interesting spot, though, I think.
Yeah, now we Nykthos for 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 green.
Yep.
I think Andrew's hand is pretty bad.
Using 3.
There's another Presence, 2 triggers. Draw Horizon Canopy and another Forest. Yeah, he's just drawing basically nothing.
Bricking pretty hard. He has another land drop. So play.
But he has like
Forest.
4 lands and a Helm in his hand.
Yeah, it's not good. He definitely needs... Okay, so yeah, maybe go for Horizon Canopy just to get another draw.
But that takes away the possibility of playing the Caracas. Like, now that this is in play, he can't play Caracas this turn.
Not this turn. I think he's just trying to give himself as many draws as possible next turn, too.
Yeah, I think that's got to be his out. Okay, so there's another Enchantress. So he's got 4 draws for each enchantment.
Yeah.
I mean, and a couple land drops, so he's going to make a lot of mana extra. I think he's just trying to get to Emrakul mana.
You think Bowman is?
Yeah. He has 1, 2, 3,
How
4,
far?
5, 6 Devotion. Like, he's very far. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
in play, he's representing 8 mana. But can also play 2 lands.
Yeah. 4, but
So
like
that's 10.
4 draws a spell is pretty insane.
He'd have to find... Oh, if he just finds... what's it called? What's the land that... Or Sarah's Sanctum. If he finds Sarah's Sanctum, then he can cast Emrakul.
Yeah. Often these decks play 0 Sylvan Libraries because they're playing Miri's Guile.
Yes.
Miri's Guile, which often is just... I mean, it's not better than Sylvan Library, but
It's
it's 1
cheaper.
mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, this version is Bant Cook. He is playing... I mean, you saw the Helm, so you can tell he's playing the Enchantress Energy Field version. But yeah, Energy Field is the reason you're playing blue. That's a card that Kyle, for instance, will instantly force a will.
Yeah. Sarah's Sanctum would be pretty insane here, but
Yes.
it looks like Bowman's out of
Enchantments?
redraws, maybe?
You think he has no enchantments in his hand? Just like lands
He
and
has-
Emrakul?
He has at least 2 lands, an Emrakul, and a Helm. I think that might just be the hand.
Yeah.
He has Horizon Canopy, so that's at least 1 redraw
So
if
he-
he completely bricks again.
Yeah, he needs to, if he draws like a Wild Growth to start things off, then we're in business.
Yeah.
Like he can...
There's a lot of draws to get there.
Yeah, as Cook said though, 4 Enchantress effects is risky.
Looks like Houtman's drawing 7 again. Really wants to end the game this turn.
Yeah, if he could find something like Sneak Attack into Emrakul. I don't think he has the mana to get there though.
Yeah,
So-
I think too many.
Ooh,
There's not enough lands.
Yeah. You drew the worst card in his deck, Flusterstorm. He does have no... Well, actually,
He has
a
Tomb.
Petal. If he has a Petal here, because he has the Ancient Tomb.
He has Tomb, Lotus Petal. He has a land drop for the turn.
So if he plays Ancient Tomb and has another Lotus Petal, he can do it.
Wait, no, he needs 2 more Lotus Petals.
Why? He could Show and Tell it into play.
Oh.
I don't think he has Show and Tell, though.
Show and Tell also opens up. Well, we know that Bowman has Emrakul.
Yes. Kyle playing Island for turn, and he's going to preordain. Sees another Grizzlebrand. Nothing interesting. Yeah, I could see it's very possible you could deck yourself with 4 Enchantress effects. Drawing 5 cards. I mean, like you could draw. You draw like such a large chunk of your deck so fast. All right, now Kyle once again going to be just discarding down to 7 cards, keeping himself up with triple force of will.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. Yeah, and Bowman can win this game though. If he finds Serra Sanctum, he just wins.
Yeah. I mean, he has 1, 2, 3. It only adds 4 mana. He does just Serra Sanctum won't do it on its own. 4, 5, 6,
right.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, he had 8 mana in play already.
Well, that's a start. There's
that's
Utopia Sprawl. That's one of the better starts.
That is a good one. Draw 4.
All right, I'm excited to see if he can get out of this. This will be pretty insane. The fact that these draws are uncounterable is so critical.
Yeah, I wonder if Houtman counters.
Utopia Sprawl?
Yeah.
Can't imagine he does. All right, Sprawl targeting forest, 4 triggers.
Jeez. All right. Choosing the color.
Well, no, he's got the
Sprawl.
draws first. Green Sun Zenith, Argothian Enchantress, land, Wild Growth on the last possible one.
Wild Growth's a good one.
Here's another enchantment.
Let's load up this forest.
Wild Growth, 4 triggers.
It's a very juicy Flicker Wisp target.
Oh yeah. Sterling Grove, Utopia Sprawl, Tropical Island.
Cannot find
Sterling
a
Grove.
Serra Sanctum.
He has another. I mean, he has more draws.
He does. It's getting harder though, and you might have to tap this forest now.
So that's 4 mana here. I imagine that the Utopia Sprawl was naming white.
Yeah.
Sterling Grove.
So 2 floating. Yeah. Green floating.
So draw 4. Helm.
Jeez.
Still no Serra Sanctum.
Are there not 4 Serra Sanctum in this deck?
I don't think there are 4, but I think there are 3. All right.
It's insane. All right.
Nykthos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana.
That die does not go up to 9.
No, it does not. All right. I mean, we got another 1 mana one.
Yeah, also has 2 land drops. All right, so first land drop.
Go down to 2 and put a Sprawl on this.
Yeah.
Sprawl, 4
Draw
triggers.
4. 1 more land drop to make. 1, 2, 3.
I think he found Caracas.
4. Energy field.
He did find Caracas.
All right.
That's a good backup plan.
It is. If he can't go all the way this turn, 7 mana. Another Sprawl.
This is like, he's going to come very close to decking himself.
Eh,
He's got to find that Serra Sanctum.
I think so, right?
Theoretically.
How much mana is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 it would add currently. 9 now.
That would be enough to cast Emrakul. 1, 2. I think you found it.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
And these are free because of the Sanctum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are all of the Serra Sanctums.
Wow. Is Rest in Peace second land?
Is Caracas or is it Serra Sanctum?
I think it's Serra Sanctum because Emrakul is uncounterable.
I would imagine that's... Is he counting?
He's counting his
he's counting
enchantments.
if he has enough mana to cast it. I think he actually